The control you don't see coming. What if I told you that some of the most powerful forms of control don't feel like control at all? They feel like love, attention, affection, even destiny. Most people never realize they're being controlled in a relationship until they've already given up the most important thing they have, their autonomy. Today, we're exposing 9 dark psychology signs she may be controlling you without you noticing. And once you see these signs, you can't unsee them. Let's start with the one most men mistake for emotional closeness. Sign number 1, emotional over-attunement. She knows exactly how you feel before you say a word, before you even understand your own emotions. At first, it feels amazing. It's like she has a psychic link directly to your soul. You think, wow, she really gets me. But people who weaponize psychology use this type of attunement as a mapping technique. It's not a superpower of empathy, it's data collection. The more she understands your emotional triggers, what makes you happy, what makes you angry, what makes you feel insecure, the easier it becomes to shape your reactions. If she anticipates every single feeling you have, it might not be intuition, it might be strategy. And once she knows what moves you, she learns what breaks you.
That brings us to sign number 2, approval conditioning. Pay close attention to when she gives you affection. Is it consistent, unconditional, or does it appear only when you behave in a way she likes? Because some women use affection like a trainer uses treats to reinforce the behaviors they want and quietly punish the ones they don't. Think about it. A dog gets a treat for sitting, so it sits more. You get a warm smile for agreeing with her, so you agree more. You get a wall of silence for wanting a night out with your friends, and soon you just stop asking. One smile becomes a reward. One cold shoulder becomes a warning. You don't even realize your behavior is being rewritten, one micro response at a time. But control gets even more subtle when she starts controlling your identity. Sign number 3, identity editing. She doesn't attack the big things about you. She goes for the small things, little comments disguised as observations. That shirt doesn't suit you. You're not really the type to do that. You're better when you're quiet. Each comment seems harmless, maybe even helpful, but together they become psychological sandpaper, wearing down your self-image. It's a slow, steady abrasion of who you are.
Each tiny comment chips away at your foundation, so subtle you barely notice the dust, until one day you look in the mirror and you don't recognize the person staring back. Because that person wasn't built by you. He was sculpted by her. Soon you start behaving not as yourself, but as the version of you that she approves. And once she can rewrite your identity, she can rewrite your reality. This is sign number 4, selective memory advantage. Notice how she remembers every single detail when it benefits her and forgets everything when it benefits you. She remembers your mistakes with high-definition clarity, but forgets her promises like they were never spoken. This isn't forgetfulness, it's narrative control. She becomes the official historian of your relationship, and the history she writes is always a story where she is the patient, understanding partner, and you are the one who is flawed, forgetful, and always in need of her guidance. By shaping the past, she silently shapes the present and dictates the future. But there's a darker form of control, one that feels like kindness. These 4 signs are just the beginning. They build on each other, creating a foundation of control that can feel unshakable. The key isn't to become paranoid, but to become aware. Because true connection is built on freedom, not on a script written by someone else. Your autonomy is your own. Don't let anyone edit it out of your story. You bring up an issue, something that needs to be addressed, and in an instant, she collapses. Tears start to form. Her voice shakes. You've just witnessed the birth of a sudden, deep emotional wound. And just like that, you stop talking about the problem. Instead, you find yourself comforting her. That's the tactic. It's called strategic self-victimization, a method to turn your concern into guilt, shifting the entire conversation away from accountability and toward a rescue mission. It's one of the most effective techniques of control precisely because it hides behind a mask of innocence. But some signs don't hide. They overwhelm. This is the emotional overload attack. It happens whenever she senses you pulling away, creating distance. She floods you with emotion, intense, sudden affection, dramatic, theatrical pain.
A romantic urgency that feels almost desperate. It's not a genuine connection. It's psychological overstimulation. A thick fog designed to break your resistance, to confuse you until the dynamic resets itself, putting her back in control. Then comes the phase designed to make sure you never look elsewhere. It's called social perimeter control. Slowly, almost imperceptibly, your world starts to shrink. She questions your friends. She finds flaws in your hobbies. People you've known for years are suddenly labeled bad influences. You feel like you're making your own choices to step back from them, but what's really happening is that the perimeter is tightening around you. Experts in dark psychology call this environmental shaping, controlling a person by controlling their entire world. But there's a sign even more dangerous, because it happens inside your own mind. This is internalized monitoring. It's the moment that control becomes permanent, because you start to do the work for her. You begin policing yourself. What you say, what you decide to share, what you absolutely must hide. You even start monitoring which emotions you are allowed to feel. She doesn't need to control you anymore. Your own mind does it automatically. That's when you know the manipulation has rooted itself deep inside you. But the final sign is the one almost nobody recognizes in time: withdrawal domination. Her most powerful weapon isn't a word, it's silence. She withdraws all affection, attention, her very presence. This isn't a break to cool down, it's a strategy to make you panic. The silence feels like total abandonment. It's a void you feel an overwhelming urge to fill. You rush to fix everything, apologizing for things you never did. This tactic turns the entire relationship upside down. She becomes the prize, the reward you have to earn back, and you become the constant pursuer. That is the moment control is complete. Not with a shout, but with a silence that makes you forget your own worth. The most dangerous kind of control doesn't announce itself with shouts or demands. It whispers. It disguises itself as connection, as deep attachment. It's not always born from malice. Often it grows from a seed of insecurity or fear, a subconscious pattern playing out on a loop. It might look like a partner who needs to know where you are at all times, not to trap you, but under the guise of worrying about your safety. It can sound like criticism of your friends, your family, or your passions, framed as just wanting what's best for you, slowly isolating you until they become your entire world. Or maybe it's financial control presented as generosity, insisting on handling all the money, which over time makes you completely dependent. The result is always the same, no matter the intention. Your autonomy begins to fade. Your identity blurs, its edges softening until you're not sure where you end and they begin. Your choices no longer feel like your own. This constant low-grade stress can manifest as anxiety, depression,
a deep-seated feeling that you are somehow fundamentally wrong. You start to second-guess your own reality. But this entire structure is fragile. It's built on silence and confusion. The moment you can name the signs, the moment you can look at a behavior and call it what it is, you break its spell. You regain your clarity. You start to reclaim your own reality piece by piece. Because control thrives in the quiet darkness. But awareness is the beginning of true freedom. If you want more videos exposing dark psychology, hidden behaviors, and the patterns people use to gain power, subscribe to Mind Under Threat. The mind is always sending signals. Most people just never learn to read them.